Hello guys, welcome back. Now today, I'm going to be talking about Switzerland's huge upset win over Team Sweden. Now Sweden and Switzerland faced in a very close World Juniors game. So what were the highlights of that game yesterday? And of course, what is next for both Team Switzerland and Team Sweden? Now, coming into that Sweden-Switzerland game, you would be hard-pressed to find anybody really predicting the upset for Team Switzerland. When it came to the people and when it came to the actual predictions, a lot of people, and of course I think almost everybody, had Sweden winning, and that was pretty much the consensus pick. Even though Switzerland, I thought, had potential to possibly upset Sweden, I didn't think it would actually happen. And especially coming into this Sweden-Switzerland game, Sweden was the favorite by far, and pretty much everybody had them winning. But when it comes to Switzerland and their game versus Sweden, that didn't really stop Switzerland from getting the W. Now this game was pretty insane from the puck drop onto the end buzzer. It wasn't as crazy as the Finland-Canada game, but it still was very entertaining, and I got to see quite a bit of it. Now in the first period, it was pretty much neck and neck, I would say. Switzerland did play a very good game for a lot of the game. Now, late into that first period, with a few minutes left in that first period, Yannick Bruchweiler of Team Switzerland was able to get a very good opportunity, shoot it on net, and just get it past Samuel Ersson to make it 1-0 Switzerland. And that goal would stand the test of time to be the game-winning goal for Team Switzerland, but at the time, that was an absolutely huge goal to put Switzerland over the top. And heading into that second period, and through that entire second period, both Sweden and Switzerland, I'd say, were neck and neck in the shots, and they were both exchanging chances left and right. Both goaltenders are honestly amazing, and it was pretty much a goalie duel right until that second Switzerland goal. With 6 minutes left in the second period, it was still 1-0 Switzerland. Still, it was neck and neck, and neither team could get another goal here. But Luca Weiss, on the power play, was able to get the marker to make it 2-0 Switzerland. There was a huge pile in front. There was like 3 Swiss players, or like 3 Sweden players. It was an absolute mess, and a whole absolute crowd around the net and around Samuel Ersson. But Weiss was able to get the puck and snipe it on Ersson, and scored a 2-0 Switzerland goal to make him a little bit more insurance than they had before. And that lead for Switzerland would carry on until the last few minutes of the third period, where it was just an all-out war for Team Sweden to get anything past the Swiss goaltender, but nothing would go in. Sweden ended up finishing the game with 41 shots, and a lot of that was in the last few minutes, where Sweden was just piling as much as they could on, and were piling as many chances as they could possibly get. But Swiss goalie Luca Hollenstein was able to shut the door and was able to shut out Team Sweden in the quarterfinals. And in those last few minutes, he was especially good, making quite a few amazing saves and having to really stop the door there. But he was definitely the reason why Switzerland won. Having to make 41 saves in the night on Team Sweden, no less, was definitely a very good performance for him. And yes, Team Switzerland did allow a lot of shots, but when you're up against a team like Team Sweden, while they're not as good offensively on paper than years past, they're still a very solid team. And while Switzerland did allow a lot of shots, a lot of opportunities on their goaltender, they were still able to get it done, and they were still able to clutch out the win, which to them is definitely all that matters. And for Team Switzerland, the goaltending was definitely the strong suit in this game. Hollenstein was able to shut the door, and he was able to be great. But the defense was also solid. Again, they allowed a lot of shots, but they didn't allow a lot of grade A opportunities. I thought the offense was solid. Guys like Khrushchev, who I personally like a lot, didn't even have to step up, and they were able to score at the right times to be able to get the Switzerland win. And with that, Switzerland, of course, getting the upset win. It's surprising. When you look at the teams that had the potential to upset, I'm not really surprised that Switzerland did it. When you look at teams that are just kind of on the outside looking in when it comes to the gold medal contention, you got teams like Czech, you got teams like Slovakia, you got teams like Switzerland, but there are only a few teams that I would say are in this tournament that could really surprise teams, going in, but I feel like Switzerland always had the potential to surprise a team in this year's tournament, and we see it here with Switzerland winning over Sweden. And while Sweden is not the greatest team on paper, they're still an amazing squad, and Switzerland was able to get it done. But this game was definitely the biggest upset of the tournament so far. We haven't seen a ton of upsets compared to years past, but this game was certainly one of the biggest, if not the biggest upset so far. Again, Sweden, while I think they are weaker on paper than years past, they're still a solid team. But Switzerland wasn't really pegged to do much in this year's tournament, and they get it done against a team like Sweden, and I already know that's going to surprise a lot of people, as it surprised me. Now, when it comes to what is next for Team Switzerland, they will move on to the semifinals for the first time, I think, in a long time. But in the semifinals, they will meet Finland, which will be a huge task for them, as Finland, of course, beat Team Canada. So they're going to have a lot on their plate to get it done versus Team Finland. But even then, Switzerland was able to win versus Sweden, and while it was a close game, I wouldn't rule Switzerland out at all for the rest of this tournament. Now, for what is next for Team Switzerland, they will face Team Finland in the semifinals. Switzerland going to the semifinals for the first time in a long time. And while I would say Finland is the favorite in that one, I'm probably going to predict Finland to win that myself. I wouldn't rule out Switzerland anymore, especially proving that they can upset teams, especially against teams like Sweden. But for Team Sweden, this is an absolutely brutal loss. This is a win that they probably had in their hands going into that, and they just let it slip away a little bit. Now, with Team Sweden, in these World Juniors, we know that they've been absolutely dominant. They had another great preliminary games. I think they went 4-0. They once again looked pretty solid, and I had a lot of people from Sweden tell me that I was wrong about them, that they were going to go far in this year's tournament. And I always had a feeling that Sweden might do well, but I thought that Liljegren injury was going to really hamper them, and this year we actually saw that a little bit. While they still play well in preliminary games, they were not able to get it done against a team like Switzerland. They weren't even able to get a goal against a team like Team Switzerland, and while the Switzerland goaltender did play very, very well, you gotta at least get a goal on them, and that's pretty inexcusable. Now, for me, in my personal opinion on Team Sweden, I always saw a few holes on that offense. It definitely was not as powerful as years past, but they still have potential, and we saw that a little bit in their first few games where the defense was really pitching in, but in that final game versus Switzerland, the defense was still solid offensively and defensively, but they were not able to get the offense going like they did at the start of the tournament. And I'm just going to go say this right now. I was right about Team Sweden. While I saw them being able to get to the semifinals, I did not see them getting past the semifinals and into the rounds and into medal games. For me, I just did not see Sweden as one of the better rosters in this year's tournament. I thought the offense was going to sink them a little bit. The defense was still fantastic. It always is with Sweden. But I thought the offense would sink them a little bit. And maybe the inconsistencies with goaltending. Or Samuel Ersson for Team Sweden was amazing, but as I predicted, the offense kind of sunk them a lot. But for Team Sweden, it is a crushing defeat, but they will be back next year. They got quite a few amazing prospects in the 2020 NHL draft that will be able to come in and play well in this Team Sweden team, and a lot of forwards especially will be able to come in this Sweden team and really perform. So I feel like the offense will be much better suited for next year's tournament, and I feel like the holes that they had in this tournament will be fixed by next year. But again, there's always upsets in the World Junior Championships. That's what makes it so fun, and this year was no exception. And of course, this game, likely being the biggest surprise and upset of the tournament, it really did not disappoint. But with this video, I want to hear your guys' thoughts down in the amazing comments section down below. So let me know in the comments, what did you think about this Switzerland-Sweden game? Did you really expect this result? Were you surprised by this upset? And of course, who are you cheering for in this game? And of course, last but not least, what did you think of the game itself? But if you guys want some more Grav videos, you can watch this video where I talk about the Canada versus Finland overtime thriller. But that is going for today, guys. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Again, comment down below your thoughts on the Sweden versus Switzerland game, and I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Goodbye.